Hi, everybody, and welcome back to this third edition now of our onboarding series of video tours of the enhanced BCI websites. In this edition, we're going to be talking about tools and resources, and more specifically, the calculators and spreadsheets developed by BCI over the past 2 decades. Now, of all the spreadsheets that we have developed, there is one that stands head and shoulders above all the others, and that is our Trade Management Calculator, or TMC. So first, let me show you where you can access more information on this essential spreadsheet. Then I'll actually show you the spreadsheet and how it works. Um, so if we go back to the store and click on Best Packages, you will see the middle package, and we'll get into best discounted packages in a future onboarding video. This one, we're just going to stick to the actual calculators and spreadsheets. So if you click on more information about the BCI Trade Management calculator, you will have a video at the top, which is a brief video. But if you scroll down further and you keep going, there's another video that's more detailed. I'll give you a heads up. It's over 40 minutes long, but it will go through the spreadsheet. In this particular video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you an actual spreadsheet, and I'm going to pull it up now. And here we have it. And I'm just going to very briefly spend like 3 minutes showing you how this works. You can go back to the video on the website to get more details. But this is a unique spreadsheet. It has over 1,000 formulas inherent in the spreadsheet. And the top portion is related to covered call writing. And then if you scroll down further, the lower section is related to cash secured puts. So let me just very briefly show you. In the blue cells on the left third of this spreadsheet for covered call writing now is where you make your trade entries into these blue cells. Price of the stock, you can enter additional information like the industry, ex-dividend dates, earnings report dates, and so on and so forth. Then if you scroll further to the right, then the next section, this is actually still the top third for covered call writing, you will get your initial returns. And scrolling further to the right, you'll get your exit strategy buyback price points. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, not only will you get your results per trade, but you'll get your total portfolio initial results in these green cells down at the bottom. Now, the middle third, as we scroll further along here, gives us an opportunity. There's no other spreadsheet that has this for exit strategies. There are over 20 exit strategies inherent in the spreadsheet for covered call writing and cash secured puts. So what you do is you click on this arrow here and you select which of the exit strategies you're going to be utilizing. Then you enter them into the blue cells. And if you scroll further to the right, this is the middle section now, you will get your post-adjusted trade results. And then if you scroll down, you'll get your post-adjusted trade results for the entire portfolio. Now, the third section for each covered call writing is a trade journal. Okay, this is the covered call trade journal, and you can make entries into the journal, which is very helpful asset when you're learning about your trades. Now, I'm just going to scroll down and briefly show you that we also have a capital adjustment section, which is used when you're doing more than one exit strategy in the same contract cycle. And this is something that will be detailed in the user guide that comes with the spreadsheet. And then once again, at the bottom, we have the same thing for cash secured puts, the same sections, the same opportunity to get both returns for your initial returns and then your returns for the entire portfolio you see over here. So that's all part of the trade management calculator. You could see we have inherent in that, we have its user guide. And then if you scroll at the bottom, we also have a couple of worksheet tabs down here. If you watch the video back on the website, it goes into much more detail than what I'm able to show you in this onboarding video, but there you have it. Now, there is actually another spreadsheet that I want to show you before we go back to the store, and that is our combined portfolio setup and portfolio results spreadsheet. Now, these are two spreadsheets inherent in one. You could see at the bottom, we have two tabs here, one for our portfolio setup and one for our portfolio results. So this is the setup spreadsheet. What you do is you just enter the data into the blue cells at the top. You know, what contract month are we dealing with? What year? What is the expiration date? Okay, how many, and the spreadsheet will tell you how many days to expiration. Enter the cash available and how many securities you're using. The spreadsheet will tell you how much cash reserve you should have for potential exit strategies. And that's based on 2 to 4% of the cash available. Now, if you scroll down on the spreadsheet will say, based on the cash available and the number of securities, how much would be available, how much cash per trade. Now, these are guidelines, folks, okay? Then you enter the securities you're interested in, you know, based on the screening process, whether it's ours or yours, the price per share. The spreadsheet will then tell you, based on the available cash per trade, how many shares you could buy, and then it'll round it down if it's below the 50, or it may round it up if it's above the 50. And that will, I'm going to shut my phone here. Okay. And that will give you the number of contracts and shares you're going to buy and sell. Let me just set this off. Okay. So it will then calculate the cost of the shares based on this rounding process. And then if you scroll down, lo and behold, it will give you the amount that you're spending. In this case, 145,597, which is within the 150 that we have. And it gives you a cash reserve of 4403. Now, if you scroll back to the top and you recall, we wanted to have between 3 and 6,000. Won't always be exact. I mean, if it was 2,900, that would be fine. If it was 6,200, that would be fine. But what if it was we were spending too much cash, more than 150,000? Well, then we have another section to the right where we have our final setup, where you can manually adjust the number of shares. You could change one or two of them to lower shares, and if we didn't use enough cash, we can increase. And then eventually you will get your final results. So that is the portfolio setup. Now we also have a portfolio results spreadsheet where you can just put down the starting date that you're quantifying, the S&P at that point, so you can compare your portfolios to that of the S&P and what is your initial investment. And then you put down the date, the value of the S&P. You might want to do this monthly. And then it will calculate the percent change of the S&P, the percent change of our portfolios, and the difference. Are we beating the S&P or not? And then there's an area in here where you can make remarks. So both of these spreadsheets are inherent in this one main spreadsheet, which is the portfolio results and portfolio setup spreadsheets. Okay, so with that said, what I want to do now is take you back to the BCI store. So let's see if we can get that. That's not what we want. Here we are. Okay. All right, so we're back to the store. Remember, we had gotten to this screen by going to best packages, but now I want to take you to build your own toolkit. Okay, now that'll automatically take you down to areas where we have courses, ebooks, calculators, hard and soft cover books. I've shown you this already, coaching and mentoring, but I want you to focus in now on this one, calculators and spreadsheets, and I'll show you other calculators available on the BCI site. Okay, now the expected price movement calculator is another valuable tool that we developed. And this involves using implied volatility to calculate an expected price range for any particular security for any particular contract. All right. So all you do is put in the implied volatility, the stock price, the expiration date, and it will tell you the high and low range with approximately an 84% probability of accuracy at each end of the range. So it's a valuable tool to know when you don't want exercise or you don't want the price of the stock to drop below the break-even price point. In other words, the risk factor is approximately 16% on each of the lower and upper end of the ranges. We also have a stock repair calculator. It's not actually for those trading options, but it is how to use options if you own a stock at a substantial loss and you want to lower your break-even price points without adding more cash to the trade. Some people will buy more shares at the lower price to average down. This will show you how to do it using options where you lower your break-even price with spending very little or no money, and sometimes even add an option credit. The collar calculator for those who want to add a protective put to your covered call trades. You can also use the trade management calculator for that. We have a trade planner for those of you that want a tool to just kind of list all the securities that you're interested in, fill out various information with them, and then make your final decisions before entering them into the spreadsheets. We also have an elite put selling calculator, but if you have the trade management calculator, you do not need this. This is a less expensive way to calculate your put trades, but doesn't have nearly the capabilities as the TMC does. So we also package together calculators. You can go through them. The poor man's calculator, the TMC cannot do that, okay, because it's different formulas for the poor man's covered call. That's where you buy a long-term leaps option deep in the money instead of the stock, so you can enter your covered call trades, but cheaper. But there's a lot more to this strategy than just that. So you really have to learn about that. But we do have a spreadsheet for that. I believe the best in the industry, but that's up to you to decide. For those of you doing portfolio overwriting, once again, TMC could do that for you. And for those of you who want a less expensive spreadsheet for covered call writing, the Elite Covered Call Writing Calculator, by the way, that's free to premium members, but it cannot nearly do all the things that TMC could do. I'm just here giving you an honest assessment of all of our spreadsheets. So there you have it. Our main calculator, you'll find under Best Packages, Trade Management Calculator. Don't forget our portfolio setup and results spreadsheets. Those, I believe, are the two main ones that you're going to want to get. Or you can go into our store, build your own toolkit, scroll down, click on calculators, learn more, and you'll have information on the remaining spreadsheets and the packages of those spreadsheets that are available. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, our onboarding video number 3. Tools and resources, specifically calculators and spreadsheets. I look forward to seeing you at our next onboarding video presentation as we tour through the enhanced version of the BCI website. As always, this is Alan Elman, the Blue Collar Investor. Take care, everybody.